right, so this is the Central Pneumatic Harbor Freight reciprocating air saw that I've had about 5 years. It's done well. It's always been a little weak, and over recent times it's done more and more of binding up on me. So considering how much use it's got, I mean, you can look, you see how worn the air chuck is. It's done me pretty well, but you know, going off that flow chart, if I wear something out at Harbor Freight, I usually the next time I buy it, I step it up a little bit. So I'll show you what I bought. So this is this is Astros. They're not a really expensive brand, but they're also not, they're better quality than Harbor Freight. That's nice. Comes loaded with a blade. So this one's seen better days. So that screw came out, got missing. That screw, that's so you can change the blade. That came out and got missing. And right off the bat, I'm noticing this one, there's nothing to remove to change the blade. So that's nice. You see the guard, that one's got a guard. This one had a guard. It had fell off. This one's definitely lighter. It's got that's just plastic, but it's a little softer. All right. So let's get this hooked up and see what it sounds like. So for air fittings, I use these from, initially I bought them from Tractor Supply. I've gone to buying them off Amazon as they're a little cheaper. They're aluminum. These are the Type C I bought. The first time I went to buy air fittings, I was like, oh, Type C. Type C's for automotive. And that's most of the work I do. So that's what I'll buy. Unfortunately, I think more of the stuff out there is some of the different types. I'm not quite sure. I think that's the industrial type. But yeah. So disadvantage, you go to borrow an air tool or something from somebody else, it's probably not Type C. I don't think Type C is that common. So I've got all these adapters and stuff that I can use if need be. These are aluminum. If you drop it and ding it, it's pretty much game over. But they make a real nice quick connection. So it's just what I stayed with. I've liked it. All right, so we'll get this thing set up. A couple wraps of tape. If you don't know how to wrap this, usually 2 layers is sufficient. Make sure you're turning this thing in the tighten direction. Don't get too close. Don't get too close to the end, because then if you get any of that tape in the end, then it's just going to wind up in your tool. These being aluminum, you don't have to tighten them much. They'll seal. Alright, let me get my air hose. Couple drops of lubricant to get us started. All right, and actually my air compressor is off right now. Let me go turn my air compressor on and let that pump up, and I'll be right back. All right, while that comes up the pressure, let's see what else is in this box. They give you some blades. I'm gonna kind of go out on a limb here and say that these blades probably aren't the best. I usually buy them off Amazon. I just get the best rated ones, but we'll give them a try. They're all the same, 24 tooth. So that's good for what I do. A lot of what I do is like sheet metal. 2 Allen wrenches. Looks like one's for the little end bell. Yeah, for the end bell on there. This one I imagine is changing the blades. Yeah. I guess this other smaller one too is for the guard. That'll adjust the guard. Make sure everything's tight. So the Harbor Freight air saw and this Astro air saw, the Allen heads are on each side, and this is just like a through hole that's threaded. So keep an eye on it and make sure it stays centered. If you keep loosening one up, or one keeps going far in, you'll have a hard time getting the blades in, and you'll have a challenge there. All right, we probably got enough pressure to do something now. That's nice. You can position the exhaust in different in different directions, so that you're not blowing stuff in your face, which is great. Or if you're doing something you're about to weld on, you're not blowing oil on the piece. That'll help your welds come out better. So that's nice. So let's try this thing out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change the blade. I'm gonna put the old blade in it, just because that was the blade that I was just using, and that'll make it a bit of a more fair comparison here. See if this one fits. Yeah. I'm already noticing this one. So this one just cycles up and down without any support. So that's probably why it's binding on me. This cylinder is riding in this whole housing. So it looks like it's gonna be a bit better. All right. So it looks like they use the same type blades. Should have seated all the way. let me find a scrap piece of sheet metal and get a little rip. All right, I got a scrap piece. I think this is 16. Yeah, this is 16. What I was cutting on before was 18. So this is a little bit thicker. See if I can hold it. So far, so good. You know, I was trying to twist it to bind it up and try different angles, and it seemed to work pretty well. So we'll see what happens after 5 years of use. One quick little tip or suggestion or whatever you want to call it. I don't like keeping all these tools around. I already have a set of Allen wrenches. So, but to speed things up, I take a marker and I'll write what size some of this stuff is. So when I go to change a blade, I can just go to my toolbox, get what I need. I don't have to take guesses and stuff like that. So yeah, so I just take a marker and write what it is. This will eventually wear off, but really if you see it enough, you kind of memorize it, but because I had memorized that one. But yeah, just something to help you out along the way, save you a little bit of time, so you can get more stuff done. I think I'll probably still keep this one around. I don't know, it might be good for something. Actually, you know what it'd be good for? I wonder if I can convert it into a shaker for my sandblast cabinet. You know, a lot of times the grit gets stuck up, doesn't flow down to the pickup tube like it should, and I wound up either kneeing the cabinet or kind of bumping into it to get it. It'd be nice to have something that would just continuously shake it and keep it down. Yeah, so it's a thought. I might do it. If I do it, there'll be a video. So if you want to see it, put a comment down. Subscribe, and maybe it'll come out soon. All right, I want to show you probably the best thing since sliced bread: the Harbor Freight Tools flowchart. If you're having a hard time deciding whether you should buy the Harbor Freight tool or something else, use the flowchart. It works. All right, so let's use it for this air saw. Whoever came up with this is an absolute genius. I've just over the years I've added some stuff to it, and this one I just printed out. I save it on my phone, and yes, I use it. So let's start out with the reciprocating air saw, and let's see where it takes us. Are you wealthy? If it's yes, you buy Snap-on. We're not wealthy, so we're going no. Are you a professional mechanic? No. Is the tool less than $20 at Harbor Freight? I don't think so. I think it might be $30. Okay, so that's taking us. Does the task you are buying the tool require precision? No, we're just cutting sheet metal. Do you have to assemble the tool? No. Is the tool motorized? Yeah, we'll call it motorized. Yes. Will you be grievously injured if the tool fails? No. I mean, shoot, the one I had failed. So let's go down to no. Will you ruin an expensive car part or system if the tool fails? Not really. We're just cutting sheet metal. I mean, it's not expensive. All right, no. Will the performance of this tool decide the fate of, I say, a show weekend, because I don't track my truck. I wish I did, but I don't. So would it? No. Okay. Here's the question I've added for this one. Have you had this tool before and broke it? Yeah. I mean, I wore it out. So follow the yes up, buy Craftsman or equivalent. So there you go. I bought the Astro. I've got a bunch of other air tools. If there's something you want me to review for you, I definitely will. I've got of course, like die grinders and stuff, cut off wheels. I've got a bunch of those. Your basic impacts, ratchets. This is one of my favorites, little 1/4-inch drive. I know a lot of people use battery stuff now, but there's just some battery stuff that's not as good because it's just so bulky. I know you're dragging an air hose around, but still. And then there's still a good amount of stuff that they don't make battery powered. And some of the stuff is strange, like that's just a scraper. It's good for getting stuff cleaned up. This is a strange one. When I was in the Coast Guard, I used these a lot. That's a needle gun. It's made for chip and paint. We just found out the other day on the 75 Datsun that undercoating, it was cleaning off undercoating better than anything else I have. Air shears are great. That's a little nibbler. New air saw I just bought. The flange tool, and it also makes your holes for plug welds. Air hammer, and then I couldn't live without these. The air belt sanders, they're great. So if there's anything else you want me to review, just take a look. Oh, this is a good one too. So this little tool is it's essentially a router, and it'll bevel your edges. So when you make little brackets and stuff, you just run that along the edge, and it makes the prettiest edge and stuff. So if there's anything you want me to review, talk about, I'll be more than glad to do it. Just leave a comment.